I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on trigonometry. As a prerequisite, we have taken up the worksheet on review angle properties. Here are 9 or 10 questions in this, which we had posted earlier. Now have a good look at these questions. We are going to provide answers to all these questions in this particular video. I hope you have understood all the concepts. So first, let's go through the questions and then we'll also take up the concepts and then start answering them one by one. So that is the set of questions we are interested in answering. Now the concepts which you learned are basically we talk about the angle, acute, obtuse, straight, reflex or 90 degrees. These are different terms. And then we know what are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are angles which combine to make 180 degrees. Complementary angles, the sum of two angles is 90 degrees. Opposite angles are always equal. When two lines intersect, they get two sets of opposite angles. Then we talk about the parallel and transverse lines. We could have interior and exterior alternate angles. The interior angles are shown here. Then corresponding angles are always equal as shown here. It forms F shape. For interior and exterior alternate angles, we have a Z pattern, you can see, right? So the patterns help you to identify what type of angle is equal. Then this is very important, which is called co-interior angles are supplementary. So these two angles inside, their sum is always 180 degrees. Then we'll talk about some triangles. In triangles, this external angle is equal to sum of the remote interior angles. So you could have isosceles triangle, equilateral triangle, right triangle. In right triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to sum of squares of the other two sides. Now these two angles are complementary. Their sum is also 90 degrees, correct? And therefore, you can write A plus B as 90 degrees, or you could write B is equal to 90 minus A. With that in mind, let's begin to answer our questions. Question number 1 here is, identify all supplementary pairs. How many supplementary pairs do you get? List all supplementary pairs to confirm your answer. Hint is given to you that it is more than 4 and the options are 4, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So let's figure out how many angles are forming supplementary pairs. Now when we say supplementary pairs, that means the sum is 180 degrees. So that is what we're looking for. So let's begin from here. We have one angle which is right there, which is supplementary, 1. So I'll use different colors. We have an option, why not? So one pair, and then we could have with this. Okay, so we have the second pair that could give supplementary. The third one, we could have this one, third one. Okay, so third one is there for us. The fourth one we could have this. So these four ones we get straight away. But now think about the combinations, which is kind of important. So when we say combination, what I'm trying to say is that when we counted the green one, we could actually have combination. That is to say, we could have combination this plus that. Do you get the idea, right? Or we could get a combination which is this plus that. So basically there are two combinations in this particular set. And similarly, for this particular angle, which is a straight line A to D, we have two combinations, correct? One combination is we could count this plus that, or we could count the combination as these two plus that. You get the idea. So there are actually 4 plus 2 combinations and in all 6 combinations. Is that right? So here is the example and that is how you could explain it. I would like you to list them. So I'm leaving that part now for you. List all combinations. And then you can confirm how many we have. Perfect. Let's take up the next question, which is external angle based. Find the measure of angle A. We need to find this angle in degrees Provide complete solution with reasons for each statement. So let's begin from here. So we can say that the angle F here is equal to 100 is outside exterior angle. So we can say that is 180 minus 100. Why? We have a linear pair. Correct? So we get angle F as equal to 80, and all this is in degrees. So we know angle F now is 80 degrees. Now here we have isosceles triangle, right? So these two sides are given to us as equal. So this is also equal to angle E. Perfect. And for this, the reason is isosceles triangle. So angle E is also equal to angle F. Now what should be C? Angle C will be equal to 180 degrees minus 80 plus 80, which is equal to 180 degrees minus 160 degrees, or 20 degrees. Now we get C as 20 degrees because this is sum of angles, triangle angles. Let me write it like this. Perfect. And angle A is equal to angle C, which is equal to 20 degrees. This is because of opposite angles. Is that clear to you? Now this method was kind of long method. You could also do the same question using exterior angle. So we have an other method here. We could also use alternate method, which is you can use exterior angle. And that is to say that this angle 100 should be equal to C plus F. You get the idea? So you could use exterior angle, sorry, not C plus F, but C plus the two exterior angles, C plus E. And then also you could solve it, right? However, this method is good enough for time being. Let's take up the next question now, which is find the value of x times y. So we need to find the value of x times y. 5 sets of answers are given to us. Now, we know that this angle as such is also 90 degrees. So what we know here is that 40 plus 2x minus y is equal to 90, right? So we can write 2x minus y equals to 90 minus 40. So we have 2x minus y equals to 50, right? I'm not writing degrees. Let's work with numbers. And now the other angle here is x plus y. So we can write x plus y is equal to what? Look for the vertically opposite angles. So this angle here is opposite to that angle. Perfect. Which is 90, which is equals to 40 degrees straight away. Is that clear to you? So x plus y is 40 degrees. So we get the second equation. We'll name them as equation 1 and 2. And now we can eliminate and find the answer. Is that clear to you? So if I do equation 1 plus equation 2, then what do I get? When I add them up, the y and minus y terms cancel away. We get 3x is equal to 90. And dividing, we get x as equal to 90 divided by 3, which is equal to 30. Now, since we know that x plus y is 40, y should be equal to 30 take away from 40, right? So y is equals to 40 minus x, which is 40 minus 30, or 10 degrees. So y is 10. What do we need to figure out? We need to find what is the product of x and y. So we are saying x times y is 30 times 10, which is 300. So the answer 300 is the right option. Is that clear to you? That is how we are going to solve it. Now let's take the next question, which is question number 4. Bearing angles are provided in the figure below. Find the value of x plus y. So this is what we need to figure out. The angle x is given to you right there, and this is y. You can always pause the video and answer the question. Okay, now how do we solve this? Well, the bearing angles are always given in three digits, 0, 3, 8, working from north clockwise, right? So those are the angles, 0, 38, and 110 degrees. Now, can you tell me what should be this angle? The angle which I mentioned here should be 180 degrees minus 0, 38 degrees because they form a complementary set. This is co-interior angles. These are co-interior angles. So let me write down the reason here. It is co-interior angles. Is that clear to you? And now you can calculate. So 180, 10 take away 8 is 2. And then from 7, when you take 3, you get 4. You get 142 degrees. So this is 142. Correct? Now you can find the value of x. So the value of x is equal to 360 is the total minus 110 minus 142. So that gives you the value of x. So we can say x is 360 take away 252, which is equal to, you get 8, and then from here when you borrow it becomes 0, and then you get 108. So x is 108. What is y equals to? Well, y is equals to 180 minus 110 because this is also a complementary. These two are also forming co-interior angles. Correct? So their sum is 180. And therefore, the difference will be the answer, which is 70 degrees. And therefore, we get the answer for x plus y. So x plus y in our case will be 108 plus 70, which is 178. Is that clear to you? So option B is the right option. Perfect. Let's move on and take question number 5 now. Now let us solve question number 5. Find the value of x plus y. So this is x for you, and then we have y. How can we solve this? Well, when we observe, we find that there are parallel lines given to us. So let's look into these parallel lines. So when you look at these parallel lines, there is a transverse line going like this, and therefore we can say that the angle here is also equal to x. This angle is also equal to x. Correct? So the reason here is that corresponding angle. Correct? Now, second thing, what we observe in this particular triangle, that x plus y plus 50 should be equal to 180, right? Or we can say x plus y is equal to 180 minus 50, which is 130 degrees. Option D for us. So straight away, we can find out the answer. This is sum of angles in triangle. Perfect. Let's take the next example, which is question number 6 for us. Which of the following set of side lengths will not form a triangle? Now, it's a very important question. Will not form a triangle. How do you figure this out? So the important thing here to understand is that sum of two sides in a triangle is greater than the third. Or you can say cannot be less than the third, right? It could be, sometimes we say it is not just greater than, at times we technically say greater than equal to also, right? So we sometimes include equal to also. It could be a straight line, kind of, right? Okay, so that is the basic criteria which we have to look into. Now you just add 5 plus 3 is 8, so add smallest number. So the the trick here is add smallest numbers. And then check. So 4 plus 3 is 7, which is greater. 12 and 15 is 27, which is greater. 4 plus 5 is 9, which is not greater, so you mark this. Since 4 plus 5 is less than 10. That is better. So if the sum of two sides is less than the third, it is not a triangle. Right? So we'll change this to less than third. That is what. So we got our answer. Next question here is find the value of x minus y. We are given the situation. It's a right triangle. So we can use two things here. One is 2x plus y should be equal to 180 minus 125 because that's a supplementary pair, right? So this one is a supplementary pair. Now these two are inside the triangles, right? So let's simplify this first. We get 2x plus y equals to, take away from 10, it is 5. From 7, it is again 5, 55. Now we also know that x plus 2y plus 2x plus y should be equal to how much? 180 minus 90 or just 90 degrees, correct? These two sides are complementary pairs. So when you add them, you get 3x plus 3y equals to 90, or x plus y dividing everything by 3 gives you 30. So we'll call this as our equation number 2 and this one as our equation number 1. So we can actually do equation number 1 minus equation 2 to get our result. So 2x minus x is x. Y minus y cancels and we get 55 minus 30, which gives you 5, and 5 take away 3 is 25. So x is 25. So if x is 25, then y equals to 30 minus 25, which is 5. We want to find what is x minus y, that is 25 minus 5 is 20. So that becomes our answer. Option D is the right option. Perfect. So that is how we are going to solve it. The next question here is question number 8. Find the value of x from the measures of angles provided. Again, a triangle is given, and now we are working with the external angle. So again, remember external angle theorem. (170 degrees) is equal to sum of these two, which is 90 plus the other angle, which is half of x plus 52. Perfect. So we can say half of x is equal to 170 minus 90 minus 52. So you can take away from 170 and then figure this out. So 170 minus, let's add them first. So we get 2 and 142. So we get half of x as equal to, when you take away, you get 8. From 6 you get 2 and 110. So okay, so x is equals to 28 times 2, which is 56. So the option C is the correct option. Correct? The last question here is, angles of a triangle are in the ratio of 1:2:3. Find the measure of largest angle. Now in this particular case, we know the ratio. Ratio is 1:2:3, right? So that gives you a total of how much? 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. However, we are talking about a triangle where the sum is 180 degrees. So how do you get 180 degrees? You get 180 degrees when you multiply this by, or you can say divide this by 30. So that means everything should be multiplied by 30. So you get 30 degrees is to 60 is to 90, right? So that becomes the ratio. And so the largest of this is 90, which is option C. That is how you can find it. Well, the last question here is, explain co-interior angles. Create a problem that can be solved using co-interior angles. But that's a very important concept. We had a couple of questions based on this. So basically co-interior angles are that if you have parallel lines and a transverse line, so let's say these are the two parallel lines and we have a transverse line, then the sum of these two angles is what? Let's say this angle is angle 1 and this is angle 2. Sum of angle 1 plus sum of angle 2 is 180 degrees, and that is what we call co-interior angles. Perfect. Now based on this you can create many questions. We had few, right? The last one also, which we talked about uh, in this example. Let's go with parallel lines. Right. So this is a great example where we are talking about co-interior angles. So as you can see here, there are two set of co-interior angles. One, this is a co-interior angle, correct? And then we also have another set of co-interior angles which I would like to highlight here, which is right there. So which is also a co-interior angle. So these are co-interior angles. So I hope when you visualize it, it makes sense. So these are a set of co-interior angles. So you could design a problem like this for question number 10. Does it make sense, right? So I'm not writing any problem here, but I've shown you that we could have something with bearing angles. For example, let me just put. So let's say this is north, that is also north. And if you're going at this bearing of 040 degrees, then find that angle. So that angle will be 180 minus 40, correct? So that is how you could do it. So let's say this angle is x, find x. So that could be a simple question based on co-interior angles. I hope that makes sense. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'll be great. Now these days are very tough, as you all know, working from home. For all the students who are not going to the school and working from home, we have a very special offer. I am taking 10 students free guidance. You can contact me on email by providing the details mentioned here on this, and then we will help you out in all possible ways you need. Thank you and all the best.